What up, everybody? What I got for you today is meet the high school player who once was considered better than LeBron James. If you don't want to see my reaction, the link in the description is down below. Go check it out. Go subscribe to this channel. But anyway, let's get right into it, man. Let's check it out and see who it is. I already know who it is. It's Lenny Cooke. Same story, but I haven't seen this highlight film that they're going to show me. So I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. Check it out with me. Let's get right into it, man. Let's go. I know this mob is decent. He was cold. I seen little clips of him. Might have been better than LeBron, but LeBron was coming for him no matter what. So let's get into it and let's go.
When you gonna play me? I'm gonna play you in various ways.
This is the story of Lenny Cooke, who was known as the best high school prospect in the nation in 2001, ranked ahead of LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Amar'e Stoudemire.
I'm looking to be the next superstar, not the next Kobe Bryant.
Lenny Cooke was a 6'6" scoring and rebounding powerhouse that had no weaknesses. He could muscle you in the post and finish at the rim, and he had a knockdown three-point shot. But a number of bad decisions kept Lenny from ever playing a single minute in the NBA.
Man.
How could the accepted #1 high school basketball player in the nation not even play 1 minute in the NBA? But first, I want to thank you guys for all the channel support recently. The channel just hit 24,000 subscribers. If you are new or been here for some time, thanks for coming through and supporting the videos. Let's see if this video can hit 10,000 likes. It helps my channel grow. No more delay, so let's get right into the story of Lenny Cooke. Lenny Cooke was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and was the most dominant player in high school in the years 2000 and 2001.
Hell yeah, he was dominant.
He was recognized across the country, and especially in New York City. Lenny was the next guy up as New York City's basketball legend. He was born in New Jersey, but he grew up in Brooklyn with his mom and dad and siblings.
I seen this live.
Boom! Live. On cold nights, they heated themselves by using an open oven. The neighborhood he lived in was filled with drug dealers, addicts, and prostitutes.
Of course, every neighborhood is filled with drug dealers in New York back in the day.
Organized basketball until he was 15 years old when an AAU coach saw him playing in a park and invited him to join his AAU team. Cooke was very athletic and tall, but he couldn't shoot, really couldn't dribble, and he couldn't pass well. But with his physical skills, he had the intangibles to be a star, according to that AAU coach. Just to give you an idea
high school
of how
all your shots gonna go in.
When Lenny and Carmelo Anthony were both juniors in high school, Melo went on a plane just so he could play against Cooke. You can see in this video right here, Melo was on offense in this clip, and he is being guarded by Lenny Cooke at this outdoor court. Carmelo said everyone in high school admired his game and was a fan. Melo said it was his size.
Melo ass. He missed it.
And play the point. Kind of like Magic, I guess. He was really explosive. Joakim Noah grew up in New York City. He was a huge fan of Lenny Cooke and loved going to his games because he was such a dominant force. He said in an interview, Lenny was really my hero because the way he could dominate a game was unbelievable to me. Lenny was a 6'6" combo guard who could do anything on the court. In his sophomore year, he averaged 30 points and 15
combo guard.
Per game.
But I wasn't that damn tall
any position. He could post up anyone no matter their size. He had a vertical jump that no one could match. He could shoot the three. He had tight handles and had a competitive fire on defense. Lenny filled up the box score in his junior year also. The numbers were a bit down, 25 points and 10 rebounds, but he was still dominant. Besides being unstoppable
the numbers are down at 25?
Lenny Cooke made his name at the ABCD camp, which stopped running in 2007. The ABCD
I'm mad they stopped. I wanted to see that.
If not the biggest summer basketball circuit in the country. It was where all the top high school basketball prospects come together and play each other. Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Derrick Rose, Kevin Love, Tracy McGrady, Isaiah Thomas, and James
look
Harden
like baby
are
look at Isaiah.
Many notable basketball
look at James with no beard.
Played at the
I
camp.
see you.
The year before, Lenny Cooke was the camp's MVP, so he was expected by most of the camp to dominate again that year, win the MVP, and the
too bad LeBron came along, buddy.
Lenny's team beat Carmelo Anthony's team in the semifinals to set up the championship game between him and LeBron James's team. LeBron was well known at the time in 2001, but this was a year before the Sports Illustrated cover, and Lenny was still sitting in the throne. He was the champion and the MVP of the camp and was expected to dominate.
I just want to come here and play hard. It really doesn't matter if I'm the best player in the camp. You know, I still know what I can do.
Shit, it does matter, buddy.
The throne changed in the championship game at the 2001 camp.
Good pass.
Unfortunately,
Good
there's
pass.
no video
Drop
of the
that
full
dime.
game, but it is said LeBron and Cooke were going back and forth, scoring on each other.
How is there no video?
Quarters. They were each showing why they were the best high school player in the nation. The game stays close.
That shows something. Somebody got footage of it.
By 2 with the ball, and there's less than 10 seconds in the game. At this point, LeBron outscored Lenny Cooke 21-9. All Lenny Cooke's
Damn,
team has to
LeBron
do
took
is
over
inbound
that
the
game.
ball and make free throws. But on the
They couldn't
inbound,
do it.
LeBron stole the ball and quickly
Good thing,
dribbled to the
LeBron.
right side of
If
the
you say
floor
you stole
while
it.
being guarded by Lenny Cooke. Right before the buzzer expired, LeBron pulled up for a 3 right in Cooke's face and switched the 3-point shot to win the tournament title.
Oh, I'm finna
Lenny
say
was
that's it
shocked
right
and
there.
was expecting LeBron to drive to the rim. Sonny Vaccaro, the man who ran the camp and signed the shoe deals for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, said that game-winning shot LeBron made over Lenny Cooke was the moment Lenny Cooke never recovered from. His exact words,
Damn.
he beat Lenny on his own turf. I mean, you can say it was one shot, one game, but in a way, Lenny never recovered.
LeBron James is simply the greatest 15, 16-year-old kid I've ever seen in my life. He has a chance.
the greatest.
It's all over. He's one of the greatest players ever to play the game.
Lenny
They
Cooke was
calling
no
him the
longer
king
in that
now,
class of
man.
top players in the country after that game. Carmelo said, after that, we just didn't hear very much about him. Throughout high school and going into his senior
he
year,
had bad
Lenny
decisions,
had poor
man.
attendance
The
and
people
grades.
around
He
him,
went
man.
to parties a
Didn't-
lot, and on top of all of that, he was academically ineligible to play high school
People
basketball.
telling him you're
that
gonna
year.
go to
so
the
he
league,
transferred
man.
to a high school in Flint, Michigan to get his diploma and get in the gym. Because he was ineligible to play, he could only play in pickup games and tournaments, which really hurt his game
See?
because none of this
Hell
was
yeah, that'll hurt
organized
you
with
just
the
playing
best
the pickup you
competition.
need. They
Cooke
want to
had a
see you
few
play
high-level
organized.
college basketball teams wanting him. He had offers from North Carolina and Ohio State, but he was seriously considering St. John's University
Ohio
because
State?
it was in New York City, which was close to his home in New Jersey. But he and his team of advisors decided on skipping college and going straight
Who
to
was
the
his
NBA.
team of
He
advisors
spoke
that
to a
advised
dozen of
him?
NBA
He should have
teams
fired.
that
I
said they
mean,
were
should
seriously
have got rid of
thinking
their
about
ass,
taking
sued
Lenny
him or
Cooke
something.
in 2002
But
NBA
his advisor
draft.
was probably
3 teams said that
stupid
they wanted to take
motherfuckers.
him in the first round. Cooke thought it was the best move for him. The NBA was his childhood dream, and he thought he would be able to smoothly take that extra step to the league. Debbie Bortner,
He
who
looked
was
like
a
man.
secondary mom for Lenny Cooke, she wanted him to go to one of those colleges, and Debbie was very disappointed with his decision. She said in an interview to a New York newspaper, "I tell the kids to use this sport to further your education, but the Sharks
That's what
were
it always
circling
tell you.
Lenny,
They tell you
making
to
promises they couldn't keep.
use
He paid a very
basketball, don't
heavy
let
price for their
basketball use
despicable
you."
behavior. But the draft did not go how Lenny Cooke thought it would. Every team passed on him in the 2002 draft. Cooke did not get signed onto a team that summer either.
Because he wasn't
How does
playing
this
nowhere.
happen? Well, for one, Cooke did not show up to any pre-draft workouts when teams were calling him,
See?
and he admits that his arrogance was one of the many reasons why teams did not give him a shot. Plus, he injured his
If
right
you don't
big
wanna
toe
show
on the
up.
first day of a pre-draft camp,
Come on,
which
man.
basically eliminated his chances to impress NBA teams. An Eastern Conference assistant coach said they didn't think he was good enough and that he should have used a few years of college. Whoever was advising him gave
Man,
him
he should have
bad
went to
advice.
the,
They did not like that he wasn't in
to
organized
one of them prep
basketball
schools
for
like
some
Tracy
time.
McGrady
He
and
thought
them
he was
went.
too arrogant.
Shoot,
and he was a
LeBron
suspect
too.
outside
Shoot.
game. Lenny Cooke had to wait a full year before finally getting a shot in the summer league with the Boston Celtics, but he did not look good in the small minutes he played, and he looked like a guy who went months without playing organized basketball. Cooke also got a shot with the Seattle Sonics Summer League team, but that did not work out either. He then played a couple years in Asia before tearing his Achilles tendon, ending his basketball
he's
career
sick
forever.
right now,
What was the
man.
biggest reason in Lenny not turning out like how scouts
Sick.
said he should? Lenny said, "Physically, I was ready, but mentally, I was
What's
not."
that?
And what does Lenny have to
Yeah,
say
you
about
let
LeBron
up.
now? He said, "My kid's like LeBron James. He's earned everything he's gotten and taken advantage
I know,
of every
he
opportunity
mad.
he's been given. How can I be
He
mad at
mad.
him? He's built his brand the right way." Lenny Cooke says he wishes he listened to Debbie Bortner, who was a family friend, about going to school. Cooke says
too late
it's up
now,
to
man.
you to make your own decisions about who you're going to surround yourself
It
with.
is up to
because
you
your
to make
image
your
is
own
more
decision.
important than anything
It
else.
is.
Today and in the past 5 years or so, Lenny has been using his story to teach younger high school athletes that are looking to go pro about the importance of taking every aspect of high school seriously so they do not end up like him. When the NBA changed
a
its
lot of weight
draft
too,
eligibility rules in 2005 to all players must turn at least 19 years old in that calendar year
Oh.
and be 1 year
That
removed
looked
from their
easy.
high
He
school
caught that off the
graduation,
block.
Lenny Cooke is looked at as one of the reasons why there was a rule change. In final, Lenny says, "When I was hanging out
immature,
doing
that's
crazy
all.
things and partying, I was 16, 17 years old, and I was hanging out at clubs, and I didn't have no business being in there. And LeBron and Carmelo, they were in bed
if you knew that, why you ain't
getting ready for workouts the next morning before class. And that is the story of Lenny Cooke, the high school player who was once considered the top high school player in the nation. Definitely an interesting but tough story to read and learn about from when he was growing up. He grew up in a very rough neighborhood, and he didn't even start playing basketball until he was 15 years old. So what would have happened if he would have been able to
he grew, he was tall. When you 15, man.
He was like 7, 8 years old. What could
if he was 7, 8, oh man, he would have been cold.
He didn't have those neighborhood leeches telling
he needs to have a father figure around him, man. That's what he needed. Somebody to show him the ropes,
He thought he would be able to make it to the league very easily, but things did not go as planned. But at least he's using the situation now to teach and tell kids the story so they don't end up like him when he's 30 years old. Again, I want to thank you guys again for all the channel support. Recently, we're up to 24,000 subs. We're growing at a nice pace. So my name is Kane, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
All right, Kane, that's a good clip you done. All right, I seen the movie, and pretty much the movie was starting off with him at the ABC camp coming in with Jordans on. Come on, man. Who does that? They say he was the only dude to come in there with Jordans on. Come on, man. You at an ABC camp, Adidas. They not Jordans, man. So why would you do that? Came in, so he already out the back got strikes. You know what I'm saying? Then he not wanting to go to practice. He didn't want to run. He didn't want to do nothing. He said that they woke him up late. And they told him a certain time. And he said, this is the time they told me to come, so that's the time I was going to be there. And he was like, no, I ain't doing it. Didn't listen. Out partying, hanging out. Don't want to listen to nobody. Then he went, didn't want to go to school. Didn't want to go to a prep school. Didn't want to listen to the lady. The lady was trying to tell him he need to not trust the motherfuckers that's around him, but he didn't want to listen to the lady. All right, man, so that's Lenny Cooke. Should have listened. Another sad case of another brother with talent. Alright, man, if you like it, hit that subscribe and like button for me. Peace!